The best thing I've ever done as a motorcyclist was ride my motorcycle across the country. The first time in 2020 was 21 days, roughly 8,000 miles, and cost $2,600, or around $73 a day. This figure, I think, was skewed pretty dramatically by low gas prices and overall lower hotel and accommodation costs. In 2022, I rode across the southern part of the US and back in 34 days, again, roughly 8,000 miles. This trip was $5,500, around $153 a day. The higher cost of accommodation definitely is reflected here, as well as that I was traveling through the Gulf during spring break. In 2023, I rode from Montana to the top of Maine through New England in the fall in 40 days. My total mileage on the motorcycle was 7,940 and an additional 1,800 miles between towing my bike from Portland to Montana and getting rescued by my dad and brother at the end. I spent $6,500 during the trip with an average daily spend of $139 a day. I used an app called TravelSpend to keep track of all this information, and breaking it down by category, accommodation is at the top of the list. I tent camped 13 nights, stayed in KOA cabins for 10 nights, hotels for 9 nights, and stayed with friends for 5. I used an app called Gas Buddy to save around $1 every time I filled up my tank, and I had an average of 44 miles per gallon on my fully loaded Africa Twin. Shopping at $857 was mostly souvenirs and a new rain suit that I bought before the trip. $712 eating out at restaurants, mostly lunch because that's the cheapest meal of the day, and an excuse to sit in a heated room. $693 for the new set of tires before the trip. $398 on groceries. I made most of my breakfasts and dinners myself. $58 on entrance fees and tours, and this does not include my America the Beautiful pass for all the national parks, and $5.25 on laundry at a KOA in Kentucky. I hope this helps give you a bigger picture of what a trip like this can cost. I'm definitely middle of the road as far as how much a trip like this can cost. It can definitely cost way more if you don't want to camp at all, but you can also do this way more cheaply if you stay with more friends or if you camp the entire time.